Ladies and gentlemen, I spent 25 years figuring this out, and I don't want you to take that long. I want you to hear me now, take these lessons, and run with them. Let's start with the first truth. Dreams without goals are just wishes. I used to sit around talking about what I wanted, what I was going to do, the big life I was going to live. But you know what? Nothing happened because I didn't have a plan. You can have the biggest dreams in the world, but if you don't set clear goals and chase them with discipline, that dream will stay right where it is, in your head. Write it down, map it out, then work on it every single day. Here's another truth. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. People run from hard work. They want shortcuts. They want success to be smooth, easy, effortless. Let me tell you something. The struggle is where you grow. The tough moments, that's where you get stronger. If life feels too easy, you're not pushing hard enough. So get uncomfortable. Stay uncomfortable, because that's where progress happens. And listen, you are going to fail. That's a fact. But hear me when I say this. Fail big. Fail forward. I failed more times than I can count. I made mistakes. I lost opportunities. But every single time I got up, I learned, and I moved forward. Too many people are afraid of failure, so they play it safe. But playing it safe won't get you where you need to go. Take risks, try things. If you fall, fall forward. And finally, the most important thing I learned, put God first. Stay humble, stay hungry. Whatever your faith is, whatever you believe in, put it at the center. Stay grounded. Stay grateful. And never think you've made it. The moment you do, life will humble you real quick. Keep pushing, keep striving, and when you rise, bring others with you. Because at the end of the day, success means nothing if you don't use it to lift someone else up. I figured this out after 25 years. Now it's yours. No excuses, no delays. Take it, use it, and make something great out of your life. Thank you. Dreams without goals are just wishes. I want you to sit with that for a second. Let it sink in. Because I've met a lot of people in my life who have dreams. Big ones. They talk about where they want to be, what they want to do, how they want to change their life, make money, travel the world, leave a legacy. But year after year, they're in the same place. Nothing changes. Why? Because a dream without a plan is nothing more than a fantasy. See, a dream is just the spark. It's the inspiration. But without goals, without effort, without a real plan, it will never become reality. It's like wishing to win a marathon, but never training, never running, never even signing up for the race. You can sit there all day and say, one day, I'll run that race. But if you never put on your shoes and take that first step, it's not happening. I learned this the hard way. I used to think that wanting something badly enough was enough. That if I dreamed about it, talked about it, maybe even prayed about it, somehow it would just happen. But life doesn't work like that. I had to learn that the world doesn't reward wishful thinking. It rewards action. You think I'm a great wishful thinker? This is not the reason that I asked you to forgive me. Let's be real. Everyone wants success. Everyone wants the dream. But very few people are willing to do the work. Very few are willing to break it down into real, concrete steps and execute. And that's why so many people stay stuck. They think successful people are lucky. They think they just happen to be in the right place at the right time. But if you look closer, you'll see something else. You'll see that those people had a process. They had a plan. They had discipline. So let's talk about how to turn that dream into something real. First, write it down. I don't care how big it is, how far away it feels, write it down. That's the first step in making it real. Because when you write it down, it's no longer just floating in your head. It's on paper. It's staring back at you. It becomes a target. And once you have a target, you can start aiming. Next, break it down. What's the first step? What's the second? What are you going to do this week to get closer to that dream? Because if you don't break it down into steps, it's going to feel impossible. You're going to look at it and say, that's too big. I don't even know where to start. And that's where most people quit. The key is to take that big dream and turn it into small, manageable goals, something you can work on every single day. If you want to be a writer, don't sit around dreaming about being a bestseller. Write a page today. If you want to start a business, don't just imagine being a millionaire. Research the market, build a plan, start small. If you want to get fit, don't just picture yourself with a six-pack. Go to the gym today. And let me tell you something else. You're not always going to feel motivated. That's just the truth. There will be days you don't feel like it, days you're tired, days you doubt yourself. And that's why discipline is more important than motivation. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline, that's what separates the ones who make it from the ones who don't. The moment you commit to something, really commit, you stop making excuses. You stop saying, I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow turns into next week. Next week turns into next year. And before you know it, 10 years have passed, and you're still in the same place. I don't want that for you. I don't want you to wake up one day and realize you wasted years just wanting something instead of working for it. You have to hold yourself accountable. You have to be honest with yourself. Are you just talking about it, or are you actually making progress? Are you just wishing, or are you setting real goals and executing them? I've met people who tell me, I want to be successful, I want to change my life. And then I ask them, okay, what's your plan? And they have nothing. They don't know. They just want it. But wanting isn't enough. You have to do. Because let me tell you, time doesn't wait, opportunities don't wait, and if you keep sitting around waiting for the right time, you're going to miss your moment. So I'm going to ask you, what's your dream? And more importantly, what's your plan? What are you doing today to move toward it? Don't just dream, set goals, put in the work, make it real. Because a dream without goals is just a wish. And I don't want you to spend your life wishing. I want you to start doing. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. That might sound backwards to some of you. You might be thinking, wait a minute, aren't struggles the thing that hold people back? Isn't pain what stops people from moving forward? No, struggle doesn't stop people, comfort does. Because when things are easy, when life is smooth, when there's no resistance, that's when we stop growing. Think about it. When do you learn the most? When do you build character? When do you find out who you really are? It's never when things are easy. It's when life knocks you down. It's when you have to fight. It's when you have no choice but to dig deep and push forward. Now, I want you to look back at your life. Think about the times when you struggled the most. Maybe you lost a job. Maybe you failed at something big. Maybe life humbled you in ways you didn't see coming. At the time, it felt like the worst thing in the world. But if you really look at it now, you'll see that those moments made you. Those moments shaped you into who you are. Because pain forces growth. Pressure creates diamonds. But when things are easy, that's when we get lazy. That's when we stop pushing ourselves. That's when we say, I'm good where I am, and settle into mediocrity. And once you settle, once you stop chasing growth, you start moving backward. Because life doesn't stand still. You're either pushing forward or you're falling behind. The real danger isn't struggle, it's comfort. The moment you get too comfortable is the moment you stop reaching for more. You stop challenging yourself. You stop striving to be better. And before you know it, years have passed. And you're in the same spot you were before, wondering why nothing changed. I've seen it happen. People reach a certain level of success and they think they've made it. They relax, they slow down, they start taking it easy. And what happens? They fall off. They lose everything they worked for because they stopped growing, stopped learning, stopped pushing. You see this in sports all the time. A team wins a championship and the next year, they don't even make the playoffs. Why? Because they got comfortable. They celebrated too long. They thought they had it figured out. But the ones who stay at the top, the ones who keep winning, are the ones who understand that you never stop grinding. You never stop improving. And this applies to everything. Your career, your relationships, your personal growth. If you stop putting in the work, if you stop challenging yourself, if you stop aiming higher, you're setting yourself up for failure. Let me put it to you another way. Struggle is a gift. It may not feel like it at the time, but it is. Struggle builds resilience. It builds toughness. It forces you to adapt, to think differently, to find new ways to win. It sharpens you. It makes you stronger. Some of you might be going through something right now. You might feel stuck. You might feel like life is testing you, pushing you to your limit. And I know it's hard. I know it hurts. But don't run from it. Don't wish it away. Because this moment, right here, is making you. You want to be great? You want to achieve something big? Then get comfortable being uncomfortable. Stop looking for the easy way out. Stop looking for shortcuts. The road to success is supposed to be hard. If it were easy, everybody would do it. But here's the thing. You can't just go through it. You have to grow through it. Some people struggle and come out bitter. Others struggle and come out better. The difference is how you respond. Do you let challenges break you, or do you use them to build yourself up? Every time life knocks you down, you have two choices. You can let it keep you down, or you can get up, stronger, smarter, and hungrier than before. So I need you to make a decision right now. Are you going to chase comfort, or are you going to chase growth? Because you can't have both. If you choose comfort, you're choosing to stay the same. If you choose growth, you're choosing to get better, to push through the pain, to rise above every challenge. I'll leave you with this. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who had it easy. They are the ones who faced hardship, who struggled, who failed, who got knocked down over and over again, but never quit. They embraced the struggle, they used it, and they came out. So don't fear the hard times. Fear the easy ones, because ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Fail big, fail forward. Most people are afraid of failure. They avoid it like the plague. They don't take risks. They don't chase their dreams. They don't step outside their comfort zones because they're scared of falling, of losing, of looking foolish. But let me tell you something. Failure is not your enemy. Fear of failure is. I need you to understand this. Every successful person you admire has failed. Repeatedly. Spectacularly. The difference between them and everybody else is that they didn't let failure stop them. They used it. They learned from it. They grew because of it. See, the problem isn't failing. The problem is playing it safe. The problem is being so afraid of failing that you never even try. Because that's the real failure. That's what will haunt you later in life. Not the times you tried and came up short, but the times you never took the shot at all. I've met people with big dreams, big ideas, incredible talent, but they never go for it. They spend years talking about what they could do, what they want to do, what they plan to do, but when it comes time to take action, they freeze, they overthink, they doubt themselves, they wait for the perfect moment. Let me tell you something. There is no perfect moment. There is no perfect time. You have to start where you are, with what you have, and figure it out as you go. And yes, you're going to fail. It's going to happen. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall on your face. You're going to try things that don't work. But that's part of the process. That's how you grow. That's how you learn. That's how you get better. If you never fail, it means you're not pushing yourself hard enough. It means you're staying in the safe zone, the comfort zone. And like I told you before, comfort is the enemy of progress. Look at the greats. Look at the people who changed the world. Michael Jordan, cut from his high school basketball team. Oprah, fired from her first TV job. Steve Jobs, kicked out of his own company. The list goes on. But they didn't stop. They didn't quit. They didn't let failure define them. They failed big, but they failed forward. That's the key. When you fail, don't just sit there feeling sorry for yourself. Don't throw a pity party. Don't make excuses. Instead, ask yourself, what did I learn? What can I do differently next time? How can I use this to make me better? Because every failure carries a lesson. Every setback holds a key to your next breakthrough. But you only get the lesson if you're willing to face it. If you run from failure, if you hide from it, if you refuse to acknowledge it, you don't grow. You stay stuck. I want you to change how you see failure. I want you to start seeing it as proof that you're trying, that you're taking risks, that you're moving. Because if you're failing, it means you're in the game. It means you're doing something. It means you're not just sitting on the sidelines watching other people live their dreams while you sit there making excuses. And here's the thing. Nobody cares about your failures as much as you think they do. We get so caught up in worrying about what people will say, how they'll judge us, how we'll look if we mess up. But let me tell you the truth. Most people are too busy dealing with their own lives to spend much time thinking about yours. So stop worrying about looking foolish. Stop worrying about what people might say. Stop letting fear keep you from moving. Fail big. Take the risk. Go all in. Bet on yourself. And if you fall, get up. Learn from it. Keep going. Because one day you're going to look back on your life and you won't regret the times you failed. You'll regret the times you didn't even try. Put God first. Stay humble. Stay hungry. This is what I know. No matter how far you go, no matter how much success you achieve, no matter how high you rise, never forget where you came from. Never forget who got you there. Because the moment you start thinking it's all you, the moment you start believing that you did it all by yourself, life has a funny way of humbling you real quick. I've seen it happen. People reach the top and suddenly they think they're untouchable. They forget the long nights, the struggles, the prayers, the people who supported them along the way. And before they know it, they lose it all. Because pride will take you down faster than failure ever could. That's why I say, put God first. Now, whatever your faith is, whatever you believe in, stay connected to it. Stay grounded. Because when life gets hard, and it will get hard, your talent won't be enough, your money won't be enough, your connections won't be enough. You're going to need something deeper, something bigger than you. See, we live in a world where people chase the spotlight. They want attention, they want validation, they want people to see them, praise them, admire them. But here's what I've learned. It's not about who's watching you, it's about who you're watching. Where's your focus? What's guiding you? Because if you're only chasing applause, if you're only doing it for likes, for approval, for status, you're standing on shaky ground. Put your faith first. Let it guide your steps. Let it be your foundation. Because when you build your life on something unshakable, you don't crumble when storms come. But faith alone isn't enough. You've also got to stay humble. Let me tell you something. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It's thinking beyond yourself. It's understanding that your success is not just for you, that when you rise, it's your responsibility to lift others up with you. Because what good is winning if you're standing at the top alone? The greatest people I've ever met weren't the loudest. They weren't the ones bragging about their success, flashing their money, telling everyone how great they are. No, the greatest people, they let their work speak for them. They didn't have to announce it. You could see it in how they moved, how they treated people, how they carried themselves. Because real power, real success, it doesn't need to be shouted. It just is. So don't get caught up in trying to impress people. Don't waste your time proving yourself to those who don't even matter. Keep your head down. Do the work. Let your character speak for itself. And that brings me to the last part. I don't care how much you achieve, how much money you make, how much recognition you get. You are never done growing. The moment you think you've made it, The moment you start coasting, you start falling behind. Because while you're sitting there feeling satisfied, somebody out there is grinding. Somebody out there is working while you're sleeping. Somebody out there is getting better while you're getting comfortable. I see too many people reach a certain level of success and just stop. They lose the fire, they lose the hunger, they get comfortable. And guess what? The world moves on without them. You have to stay hungry, always. I don't care if you're the best in the room. Keep learning, keep pushing yourself, keep setting new goals. Stay a student of life. Because the moment you stop learning, the moment you stop growing, that's the moment you start declining. And don't just chase success, chase excellence. Success is temporary, it comes and goes, but when you commit to excellence, when you commit to being the absolute best version of yourself, every day, that lasts. That sticks. So I'll say it again, put God first, stay humble, stay hungry, because if you keep those three things in check, your faith, your humility, your drive, there is no limit to what you can achieve. And when you get there, when you reach that dream, when you accomplish what you set out to do, remember, it's not just about you, it's about who you can help, who you can inspire, who you can lift up. Because real success isn't just measured by what you get, it's measured by what you give.